What if I told you that the messiest celebrity drama of the year just detonated like a grenade in Hollywood's living room? Forget the Kardashians, forget the housewives, forget every staged Netflix reunion episode you've ever seen. Because Jaguar Wright just dropped a revelation about Chrisean Rock so insane, it makes celebrity scandals look like bedtime stories for toddlers. This isn't gossip. This isn't tea. This is an entire boiling pot exploding across the internet, and the steam, it's burning everyone. Jaguar Wright, the queen of spilling forbidden Hollywood secrets, has decided she's not just pulling back the curtain. She's yanking it down, setting it on fire, and exposing everything in the ashes. And at the center of this nuclear fallout? None other than Chrisean Rock. Yes, the same Chrisean who's already been trending more than most A-listers with 10 times her career. Apparently, her story isn't just messy, it's allegedly hiding a truth so shocking it could shake the very foundation of Hollywood's untouchable circle. Buckle up. Because what Jaguar claims to know about Chrisean doesn't just rewrite the narrative, it flips the script, tears out the pages, and sets the ending on fire. So here's where the circus tent really goes up in flames. Picture this. Jaguar Wright, the woman who's turned Hollywood secrets into her personal brand of nuclear weapons, suddenly drops the name Chrisean Rock into her latest exposé. Now, if you know Jaguar, you know she doesn't whisper, she doesn't hint, she doesn't politely pass notes like a middle school crush. No, Jaguar grabs a megaphone, straps it to a rocket, and launches it straight into the Hollywood skyline, where everyone can see it. And this time, the target of her missile is none other than the internet's favorite chaos magnet, Chrisean Rock. But let's rewind for a second. Chrisean Rock didn't just fall out of the sky and land in the middle of a scandal tornado. She built that tornado with her bare hands. From fistfights on reality TV to Instagram lives that should come with a viewer discretion advised label, Chrisean has made a career out of controversy. It's like drama follows her the way paparazzi follow Kardashians. Except in Chrisean's case, it's less red carpet glamour and more WWE steel cage match. Enter Jaguar Wright, who decides that the world hasn't had enough chaos in 2025. She claims to have discovered a secret truth about Chrisean. And folks, when I say the internet cracked in half, I mean it. Memes, threads, think pieces. Within minutes, Twitter looked like a digital war zone. Fans screamed, "Expose her," while haters popped popcorn like it was the Super Bowl halftime show. So what exactly did Jaguar say? Allegedly, she hinted that Chrisean Rock isn't just a reality star with a messy personal life, but that she's been part of something way bigger. Something Hollywood would prefer to bury in a vault next to the recipe for McDonald's secret sauce. Jaguar didn't just pull receipts. She practically rolled out a scroll like Moses on Mount Sinai and declared, "Thou shalt not ignore this truth." And the timing? Impeccable. Chrisean's already been in headlines for her explosive relationship drama, music drops that spark more debate than applause, and social media antics that make fans wonder if she's trolling or just living in constant chaos. It's like Jaguar waited until the world was distracted, then casually lobbed a grenade into the room with a smirk. The first wave of reactions was exactly what you'd expect. Some fans gasped like they'd just watched their grandma discover TikTok. Others laughed it off, calling Jaguar the queen of exaggeration. But here's the kicker. When Jaguar Wright talks, people listen, even if it's just to argue with her. She's like that one aunt at family dinner who drops a story so wild that you can't ignore her, even when you know she's about 3 glasses of wine deep. And Chrisean? Oh, she didn't sit quietly in the corner. Within hours, she jumped online, firing off rants that could double as diss tracks. She laughed, she clapped back, and she reminded the world why her fan base is as loyal as they are unhinged. To them, she's not a scandal. She is the entertainment industry's ultimate plot twist. But for critics, Jaguar's so-called truth about Chrisean felt like confirmation that something darker has always been lurking behind the viral clips and the memes. To really grasp why this is so explosive, you need to understand Jaguar Wright's reputation. This is a woman who spilled tea on icons, legends, and untouchables, and lived to tell about it. People call her messy, unpredictable, a drama queen, but one thing they don't call her is boring. When Jaguar starts talking, Hollywood sweats, because even if half of it is exaggerated, the other half just might burn careers to the ground. So when she set her sights on Chrisean, it wasn't just a random shot. This was a deliberate move, a surgical strike on someone already teetering between rising star and walking scandal. Jaguar framed it as if she had a list, a collection of truths that put Chrisean in a very uncomfortable spotlight. And once the word list hit the internet, it was game over. Nothing sends fans into detective mode faster than the promise of a secret list. People started speculating what was on it. Everything from shady industry deals to behind-the-scenes betrayals. Reddit threads turned into full-blown FBI investigations overnight. And honestly, that's the beauty of it. Jaguar didn't even need to say every detail outright. She just dangled the bait and let the internet do the rest. That's the art of modern scandal. Don't give away everything. Just give enough for people to spiral into chaos. It's the same formula reality TV producers have been milking for decades, except Jaguar does it with no cameras, no contracts, and zero chill. Now, if you're wondering how Chrisean's camp responded, let me just say, imagine trying to put out a wildfire with a water pistol. Every time they tried to calm things down, Jaguar lobbed another verbal Molotov cocktail. Fans demanded answers, bloggers cooked up clickbait headlines, and suddenly Chrisean wasn't just dealing with her usual drama. She was facing a narrative that made her look like Hollywood's best-kept dirty secret. By the end of day one, this wasn't just a scandal. It was an internet event. Think of the Will Smith Oscar slap mixed with Britney Spears' 2007 meltdown, and then sprinkle in a dash of Tiger King-level absurdity. That's how insane this Jaguar versus Chrisean drama felt. And the craziest part? It was only just beginning, because if Jaguar Wright was telling the truth, the ripple effects would spread far beyond Chrisean. We're talking industry shakeups, celebrity alliances cracking, and receipts that could potentially embarrass some of Hollywood's most powerful names. Suddenly, this wasn't about one star's messy life. It was about pulling a loose thread that could unravel the whole sweater of the entertainment industry. And if Jaguar was lying or exaggerating, well then she just handed Chrisean the ultimate victim storyline, the kind of narrative that makes fans rally harder and turn drama into fuel for her growing career. Either way, the internet won, because everyone got the messy show they signed up for. If part one felt like Jaguar Wright casually tossing a match into a puddle of gasoline, part two is the five-alarm inferno. Because once the story hit the mainstream, it stopped being about Jaguar versus Chrisean. Oh no, this was the internet's new sport, and every celebrity with Wi-Fi suddenly had courtside seats. The escalation started with social media. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram all turned into one giant group chat of chaos. You had die-hard Chrisean fans fighting tooth and nail like they were defending the last slice of pizza at a family reunion. Meanwhile, Jaguar's loyal supporters screamed, "She's been right before. Hollywood is shaking." The memes? Absolute chef's kiss. One viral meme showed Chrisean's face photoshopped onto a wanted poster with the caption, "Jaguar's list, entry number 1. Another compared Jaguar to Thanos collecting Infinity Stones, except instead of stones, she was collecting secrets that could wipe out half of Hollywood. But the true insanity came when celebrities started chiming in. You'd think A-listers would stay quiet, right? Wrong. Everyone wanted a piece of this circus. Reality stars used it to stay relevant. Rappers threw subliminals in their lyrics, and washed-up influencers popped up on podcasts pretending they had insider info. It was like the Hollywood Hunger Games, except the prize was clout, and the weapon of choice was Wi-Fi. One rapper even tweeted, "If Jaguar got a list, we all in trouble. I'm deleting my DMs." Boom, 300,000 likes in an hour. That one line alone had people convinced Jaguar's so-called list wasn't just about Chrisean, but a Pandora's box of secrets. Suddenly, fans weren't just gossiping. They were theorizing. What if Chrisean was the first domino? What if Jaguar was about to unravel an entire industry web of shady deals, fake relationships, and hidden scandals? The paranoia spread like wildfire. And in the middle of all this, Chrisean was doing what she does best, doubling down. She jumped on Instagram Live, baby in one arm, phone in the other, and went off like a preacher at Sunday service. She called Jaguar a liar, said she's clout chasing, and basically dared the internet to come for her. Classic Chrisean turning damage control into a WWE promo. Fans clipped every second, spreading it like wildfire. Within hours, hashtags like Destroyer Team Jaguar and Stand with Chrisean were trending, battling for supremacy. Now let's talk about the twists, because this wasn't just a one-and-done exposé. Oh no, Jaguar knows how to drag out a scandal like a Netflix series with 10 unnecessary spin-offs. Every day she dropped a new breadcrumb, a cryptic post here, a spicy live stream there. Each one made the internet feel like detectives piecing together a jigsaw puzzle that didn't even come with a picture on the box. One particularly explosive moment came when Jaguar hinted that Chrisean wasn't just involved in petty drama, but allegedly had ties to bigger Hollywood secrets. Secrets involving other celebs, shady contracts, and backroom deals that make soap operas look tame. She didn't name names, at least not right away, but she didn't have to. The internet filled in the blanks with wild guesses. Was she shading Cardi? Is Beyoncé involved? Wait, is this about Jay-Z? The speculation alone was enough to send the story into overdrive. The funniest part? Nobody even knew what was real anymore. This scandal blurred the lines between fact, fiction, and fan fiction. But that didn't matter. In today's culture, the truth doesn't need to be proven. It just needs to trend. And trend it did. Bloggers racked up millions of views dissecting every word, podcasters debated like it was a presidential scandal, and TikTokers made conspiracy videos complete with ominous background music. Meanwhile, Jaguar herself leaned all the way into the villain role. She strutted online like a queen sitting on a throne of chaos. Every time people doubted her, she came back louder, bolder, dropping even more receipts. Some screenshots, some vague voice notes, and some cryptic, "you'll see soon enough" lines that drove fans mad. Whether or not she was telling the whole truth didn't even matter anymore. The drama was the product, and Jaguar was selling it like hotcakes. And you know who loved every second of this? The media. TMZ, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. They milked the story like it was the last cow on earth. Headlines screamed things like, "Jaguar Wright declares war on Chrisean Rock. Is Hollywood next?" Every new angle gave people fresh reasons to click, comment, and share. Even late-night comedians couldn't resist sneaking in a joke or two. The public outrage reached peak absurdity when fans started demanding the list be leaked in full. They treated it like the Holy Grail, the Rosetta Stone of celebrity gossip. Petitions popped up online. "Release Jaguar's list." Imagine thousands of people online acting like they were storming Area 51, but instead of aliens, they wanted celebrity receipts. That's how unhinged the internet got. For Chrisean, the escalation became a nightmare disguised as clout. On one hand, her name was everywhere, trending on Twitter, TikTok, even Facebook, which we all thought was dead. On the other hand, every trend came with people calling her shady, fake, or worse. And here's the twisted irony. In today's fame, economy, being hated often makes you just as famous as being loved. If Chrisean was the internet's villain of the week, she was also the main character. And we all know the main character never logs off. What made this scandal feel different, though, was the way it snowballed into something bigger than just two names. Jaguar framed it like a systemic takedown, like she was peeling back layers of an onion that was going to make the whole industry cry. And whether or not people believed her, they couldn't look away. It was messy, it was unpredictable, it was wild. And that's exactly why it worked. By the second week, even brands were trying to cash in. Memes about the scandal ended up in ads, influencers made parody skits, and one energy drink company even tweeted, "Jaguar versus Chrisean? This drama has us more energized than our product." Imagine monetizing chaos. That's how mainstream it got. The escalation was no longer just about Jaguar exposing Chrisean. It was about the culture of exposure itself, the way we, as an audience, feed off scandal like it's oxygen. Jaguar didn't just drag Chrisean. She held up a mirror to Hollywood and said, "This is what you created. This is what you thrive on." And instead of denying it, the world hit like, share, and subscribe. But here's the kicker. The internet thrives on escalation, but escalation has consequences. By now, the feud wasn't just entertainment. It was starting to reshape reputations, fracture relationships, and create ripple effects that nobody could ignore. And while the memes were funny and the drama was addictive, there was a storm brewing that would make the fallout way uglier than anyone expected. Because when you mix Jaguar Wright's firepower with Chrisean Rock's volatility, you don't just get drama, you get nuclear meltdown. By the time the dust started to settle, this wasn't just a scandal. It was a full-blown cultural event. The kind of saga people will bring up years from now, like, remember when Jaguar Wright set Hollywood on fire with that Chrisean Rock bombshell? Yeah, it had officially graduated from gossip to folklore. The aftermath began with the obvious: reputations. Chrisean Rock's name was everywhere, and not in the way publicists like. Every headline, every TikTok, every tweet framed her as the epicenter of Jaguar's storm. For fans who already loved her for her chaos, it only solidified her image as the internet's untouchable rebel. They screamed, "If the industry's scared, that means she's real." But for the critics, this was blood in the water. Suddenly, every slip-up, every viral meltdown, every questionable lyric was reanalyzed under a microscope. It was like the world had declared, "Oh, you thought you were messy before? Buckle up." And Jaguar, she came out looking like the villain and the hero, depending on which side you asked. To some, she was the truth-telling whistleblower Hollywood never wanted. To others, she was the chaos queen who thrived on burning bridges just to watch the sparks fly. But either way, her name was trending right alongside Chrisean's. If fame is the currency of our culture, Jaguar cashed in big time. The ripple effects didn't stop there. Other celebrities, some who had nothing to do with this drama, started getting dragged into the conversation. Old tweets resurfaced, shady interviews were replayed, and suddenly everyone was a suspect in Jaguar's so-called secret list. It turned into Hollywood Clue. Was it Chrisean in the studio with the NDA? Or Jaguar in the live stream with the receipts? Nobody was safe. Meanwhile, public opinion fractured like glass. Half the internet demanded Jaguar show proof, while the other half said proof didn't matter. The entertainment industry has always been shady, so why wouldn't this be true? That's the wild thing about scandal culture today. We don't need evidence, just vibes. And the vibes here were pure chaos. The consequences for Chrisean's career? Complicated. On one hand, controversy sells. Streams of her songs spiked. Her interviews pulled in millions of views, and suddenly everyone who didn't know her name before was Googling her. But on the other hand, the stain of Jaguar's accusations lingered like a bad tattoo. Brands got nervous. Collaborators went quiet. Even some of her fans started side-eyeing her every move. It wasn't career-ending, but it was career-redefining. The kind of moment that sticks to your image forever. And then came the bizarre twist. Chrisean started leaning into it. Instead of denying, she flipped the script. She turned the scandal into a storyline, using it as fuel for her social media persona. She went live more often, dropped cryptic tweets, and basically said, "If you think I'm guilty, then watch me be guilty in HD." It was reckless, but it worked. In a world where perception is reality, she turned herself into the star of the show, whether you loved her or hated her. Jaguar, on the other hand, kept feeding the beast. Every time the story started to cool down, she'd pop back up with another breadcrumb. A cryptic message here, a dramatic live stream there. She knew how to keep the internet's attention span hooked, dangling just enough chaos to keep people from scrolling away. She wasn't just exposing Chrisean, she was proving a point, that Hollywood is built on secrets, and she was the one bold enough to shout them out loud. The bigger picture? This scandal wasn't just about two women going head-to-head. It exposed the way our culture consumes fame. We don't want polished, perfect celebrities anymore. We want messy, unpredictable, explosive drama. Chrisean and Jaguar gave us that in spades, and we ate it up like a buffet at 3 a.m. after the club. But here's the kicker. While fans laughed and memed, Hollywood insiders weren't laughing. Behind closed doors, you can bet meetings were happening. PR teams scrambling, executives whispering. Because if Jaguar's secret list even had a grain of truth, it meant more names could be next. It wasn't just Chrisean's reputation on the line. It was the entire industry's dirty laundry, dangling on a clothesline for the world to gawk at. And that's why this scandal matters. Not because of the memes, not because of the streams, but because it cracked open the illusion of celebrity. It reminded us that behind the glitz and the filters, Hollywood runs on secrets. And all it takes is one person with a big mouth and a bigger platform to send the whole thing crumbling. That internet, of course, moved on to the next shiny scandal. Because let's be real, we've got the attention span of a goldfish. But the shadow of Jaguar versus Chrisean lingers. Fans still whisper about the list. Blogs still reference it. And every time Chrisean posts something chaotic, people comment, "Is this on the list too?" It's the kind of thing that doesn't die, it just hibernates, waiting to resurface at the worst possible moment. So where does that leave us? With two women who, love them or hate them, controlled the internet for weeks. Jaguar proved she could still hijack the spotlight with nothing but her voice. Chrisean proved she could take the hardest hit and turn it into fuel. And we, the audience, proved we'll always choose mess over peace, drama over facts, chaos over clarity. In the end, nobody really won, but everybody got more famous. And in Hollywood, that's the only scoreboard that counts. And that, my friends, is how Jaguar Wright turned Hollywood into her personal demolition project and dragged Chrisean Rock into the center of it all. A secret truth that cracked the internet in half, melted down group chats, and made Hollywood sweat harder than actors at an unpaid audition. Whether you believe Jaguar's bombshells or think she's just stirring chaos for breakfast, one fact remains. This scandal gave us more entertainment than half the reality shows streaming right now. But now it's your turn. Hit that comment section and unload your hot takes. Do you think Jaguar's list is real? Is Chrisean Rock the victim of a smear campaign, or is she the star of Hollywood's most chaotic plot twist yet? Don't be shy. This is Majestus Buzz, and we thrive on the wildest theories you can cook up at 3 a.m. And while you're typing, smash that like button like it owes you rent money. Pound the subscribe button harder than Chrisean claps back on Instagram Live. And don't forget the notification bell. Ring it like you're calling security to break up a Hollywood after-party brawl, because you need to be here the second the next scandal detonates. Here, scandals don't sleep. Secrets don't stay buried. And peace? Please. Peace is boring. Majestus. Buzz is where the masks come off, the receipts get dragged into the light, and your favorite celebs pray they're not next on the chopping block. So stay tuned, keep your popcorn hot, and remember, in Hollywood, the truth doesn't set you free. It sets the internet on fire. This is Majestus Buzz, signing off until the next explosion.